Welcome to my channel and welcome to the video where I will talk about my July plans. And if not for July, then it will be plans for July and August. First of all, I really want to return to Tomislav Tomic. After a long months, even years of abandonment, I did a nice return to these books by doing this page. I like it, but I realized that for many pictures I still have problems with color planning and especially with the backgrounds. So for July I would love to do at least one picture. In Zemlya Nova, for a long time I look at this. Where is my bookmark? Here. And this lovely company of bird and boy singing together. I especially love the guitar and look at this fairy looking at them. But here my biggest problem is unfinished frame. I don't know how to make transition between frame, which I usually prefer to do in some dark contrast colors, and background of the main image. Here I would prefer to have something to finish this background. And for now I don't know how to resolve this problem. Maybe to draw something myself, maybe to use these branches and grass as a final area of the background, and here will be inner totally different color palette. So that's the problem. Actually, such problem I have for many pictures. Here very similar frame only on the three sides on the right side, and as far as I decide how to resolve this problem, maybe actually to do the same background color frame here for both pictures and then to do something with the inner. So that's where I stick and I don't know how to do it. So maybe another picture which I selected may be slightly easier. It's page which I wanted to do in May, so it has mermaid. I wanted to include it into my mermaid plans, didn't have time, but maybe I can do it in July. Yes, it's probably part of the spread, but I want to do for now only the right side, and if I like it, I always can use the same colors for the left side, but later. So definitely this one will be easier. And if I don't find selection with this frame, so I will do the mermaid. I really want to return to Kerberazanez. I hadn't colored in his books during maybe 2 or 3 previous months, and for me it's time to return. This time I want to do a page which I wanted to do already for many months, maybe even years since I got the book, and it's this dinosaur. It's huge, it has crazy amount of details, so maybe I will need the whole month for it, because I want to do it carefully, paying attention to each of the characters, each of the details. And apart from wanting to color it, I want to color stains, these blue stains which I got by doing background on the previous spread. It was my unlucky moment when I tested watercolor here. It bleeded through, it worked terribly, so now I have unfortunately stains on the dinosaur. Yes, it will be totally possible to cover them. I think that my dinosaur will be green-brown, and with such intense colors I will cover them, and it taught me that my edition of Walt Within Walls unfortunately totally dislike water-soluble media. Already for a long time I promised to do something in Search of the Light Bulb Burglar book, which I actively colored maybe 4 years ago, which has amazing quality, amazing paper, especially for water-soluble pencils, for granulating watercolor, for regular watercolors. So maybe that's main reason why I want to color here. After many pictures done on shitty, thin paper, I really want to do something in high quality book. But problem here is that many pictures, even if they it's silent comics, so in order to understand the story you need to look from the first until the last image and maybe to color it in order, because some pictures, they are interesting by themselves. You can color them and it will be interesting to watch such coloring. Even if you don't have the book, if you don't know the full story about those company of detectives who try to search this missing lamp and light bulb burglar, but some pictures, they are not easy to understand. Who are them? What are they doing here? In the end, I decided that maybe I will try to do the car, because their car is really very nice and interesting. But I already did their car once. Sorry guys, it was somewhere here. It was lovely here. But now I don't know, do I want to repeat it in the same color, but it's boring to do it again in red color. So that's choice number one. Choice number two, it's this one. When they had the struggle with huge metal monster, I think that it will be interesting. I can do something nice with the background using granulating watercolors, for example, like smoke or clouds or simply some bright background. And then you know that I love to color metal, so that's why I want to color this metal creature, metal robotic element. And two detectives also, they are interesting to color. I will try to return to this book because it doesn't deserve to be abandoned. Also, I want to return to mythographic series. You know that for some time I stopped to purchase them because I honestly didn't want to spend money on the books when I have so many colored mythographic books. Of course, newest books in this series, they are still very beautiful, very nice, and of course I want to have all of them. But first I need to feel that I deserve them, and I need to color more in my previous books. In Paradise, which I like and dislike in the same moment. I dislike it because of these ugly hidden elements, but you probably know it. I like it because I already colored many pictures here, so I'm always happy when my book starts to have more and more finished pictures. I think about maybe one of these. The first, well, actually it's also very nice, but I think about this, which reminds me about Alice in Wonderland. I want to do something really crazy with some crazy colors for the sky, crazy colors for the mushrooms, or maybe otherwise it will be crazy colors for the mushrooms, but behind the portal, behind the door, there will be totally normal garden. So I think about it. I really want to have fun with these mushrooms. And another good choice could be this page. I don't need to explain. It has perfect summer vibe. We have birds, we have ocean, we have sand and champagne, of course. So perfect summer picture. Very tempting. Other picture which I want to color is in Wanderlust. Again, the same thing, hate and love. I already did many pictures here, and somehow it's fun to color these pictures. It's like resolving some puzzle. So many intertwined elements, so many hidden elements, but they are really complicated. This time I selected this Mexican style picture. You know that usually they have so colorful carnivals, and I decided that I want to do this lady. So that's for now my choice number one in all mythographic books. And finally I have here the Aviary. For me it's one of the most beautiful series book in the series. It's by Kettenbank, and in all Kettenbank books it's maybe the easiest, but I hadn't started yet any pictures here, and it's a shame. So many tempting pictures. This one perfect for summer because it has cherries. Another one because I love to color such. I can do it like a firebird and look at all those golden treasures beneath. Very easy to do. Color planning and to color it later. Then I can do this lady. Something in this lady is really very attractive. Maybe she's strong-spirited and it's interesting. Maybe to turn it into some golden elements, feathers, really very interesting, and I can imagine story behind this one. Oh, I can do something sweet and yummy. What is better to color during hot summer rather than ice cream and other sweets. Very nice, one of the best pictures in the book. I really want to start aviary. When I look at this one with so many nice pictures, I definitely can tell myself that you don't need any new books before you do something here. So many nice pictures, you don't have time for this one. Why you would purchase more books? Next, I would love to continue coloring in Leila Duli. Again, after many months of never touching her books, I returned by doing page in Floribunda and pictures in the newest book, and I felt that I actually missed coloring her pictures. They are not easy, especially if you want to color in a realistic way, but while I still feel inspired, why wouldn't I do a couple of other pictures? In Floribunda, for myself, I selected page with couple of beautiful peonies. I want to continue practicing coloring peonies both with polychromos and Prismacolor sets. I already feel that I learned something from my previous attempts, and the whole composition is quite lovely. I looked already at the reference pictures. It can be very colorful because all the flowers here, they are bright, and you can select from several color palettes, especially from Scabiosa. They can be in different colors. For peonies, I think about one light and one with dark petals, so a lot of choices, and it definitely will be a lot of pleasure and a lot of fun to color it. In a walk in the woods, I think about picture with Gelder rose. Gelder rose, it's a plant, it's a bush of flower. It's a bush with flowers and berries, which is very important for Ukrainian culture. Many of our stories, of our emblems, and even one of the most famous songs, it's about Gelder rose, especially about its red berries. Here we have only flowers, and it's challenging because flowers supposed to be white. I don't know how to color white flowers in a realistic way and doing shadows on them, so it will be nice and instructive. And good contrast to the white flowers will be those very bright, as usual I forgot the name of them. It's not scabious, it's honeysuckle, of course. So they are very colorful. They can have colors from yellow into orange, magenta. Contrast will be perfect. And it's not very big, not very detailed. Only here tiny flowers. But I think that I will manage to do it. Also, I finally want to start traveling around the world with Mr. Fogarty, the book which I already have for a couple of months but hadn't started yet. I colored in Frog's Tale because that book is also very interesting. But here we have two my favorite stories, this adorable Mr. Frog and also traveling around the world. This one I really want to color in order, or at least while I can, if I'm totally stuck without any imagination, then I will skip page. But if I can, I will try to color it in order, and we will be traveling together with the snail, with Mr. Fogarty, and I think that it will be interesting. Of course, it's problem with paper, but I think that if I already managed to color many pictures using markers and polychromos pencils together, so I will continue in the same way. And finally, there are two books which I want to start. The first one is by Eri, again traveling around the world, and it has so many nice pictures. Choice was difficult, but I need to adjust again to the paper, to the style of Eri, so I selected page where there are no huge empty background and a lot of nice attractive things. Of course, that's Holland, and there are many things which we usually connect with Holland, which represent this beautiful country. I hope that it will give me a good start and I will do much more in this book. I do love that in this book we have some more detailed pictures, and actually I prefer such pictures, but also some more simple pictures. I think that I need to test my medias once again, because for some of the such pictures I would love to use something water soluble, but for this one Prismacolors definitely will be my first choice. And finally, book which I already have for several years. I remember that once I had to order it from Amazon France many years ago, maybe 4 years ago, because I was totally in love with the artist's style, but in the same time I found his pictures quite beautiful but difficult to color. It's interesting how he depicted Greek mythology in slightly Asian manga style probably, and yeah, that's for me not the easiest style to color, but you know that I love to color everything about fairy tales, mythology, especially from various countries, various parts of the world, and I already collected many books about Greek mythology from various artists, so I think that it's time to start also this one. I hadn't decided yet which picture I can use as my first project, but in July or in August I definitely intend to start this one. Yes, paper is quite thin, so another question is what media to use. I think that my traditional way of working on thin paper with alcohol markers and then with polychromos pencils will be my first try, and then we will see. Maybe I will do also something with Prismacolors. Surface of the paper isn't bad, it's just thin and a little bit transparent. Good thing is that line art is very delicate. On the one side I would prefer to avoid alcohol markers because it would mess up the left side where we have the story. But on the other side, of course, markers are the easiest way to do the background. So I am a little bit unsure in my choice of art supplies. And that's another reason why I hadn't started it yet. Actually, this Gaia could be my first project because I thought about it. I can do this one totally with pencils, without markers. Yeah, paper is almost transparent. I can see through the paper, through the skin of Gaia, the text on the back. It's bad, but agree with me, line art is really beautiful. Well, that was part of my July and August plans. As usual, what I select in the beginning of the month, it's only probably 40–50% of what I usually color. Something I don't have time to color, something I select totally unexpectedly, and I think that it's the best way to have something prepared if you don't want to make a choice, if you don't have time, and sometimes it's nice to do a spontaneous choice inspired by something you saw on Instagram, on web, or when you just was reminded about the book you have and hadn't touched for some time. So it will be a mix of these books and maybe something else. I hope that it also will be interesting to you, and I think that other books which I will be using, it's again books by Kanoka Igusa, which I traditionally color, and I would love to color more in Emery Lindehol Oberg, Sagar Ok Sagner. I did a couple of pictures there already, and now I feel very inspired to do more in that cute book. So stay with me, and I hope that in the end of the month some of these pictures I will show you already in full color.